So it's another interesting development this weekend. Kansas State transfer Nijel Pack announced a transfer to Miami, and he's going to get some real money. He signed a 2-year deal worth $800,000 plus a car with Life Wallet, which is a part of I did my Life Wallet research this weekend.
Me too.
Okay, trivia time.
Oh, no.
What is Life Wallet?
I have no idea.
Okay. Life Wallet, I had no idea until I actually just started Googling. What is Life Wallet? It's a part of a $32 billion company called MSP Recovery that's mostly owned, about 70% of it I read, by a trial attorney named John Ruiz. And this dude, John Ruiz, I'm trying to enroll at Miami right now. First and foremost, what an amazing place to go to college. If I could do it over again, I would pick my college destination based on weather. I remember the first time I went to UCLA or the first time I went to Miami, I was like, why does everybody not go to school here? Why would you, walk, and I don't mean this disrespectful toward any place. I'm strictly talking about weather. But imagine walking to class in East Lansing, Michigan, or walking to class in Westwood or in Coral Gables. It's two different things. So this guy, and so I was interested in Miami, independent of anything else. Add John Ruiz to the equation, and I don't know why everybody's not going to Miami. This guy is throwing around real money via NIL deals to Miami student athletes who are basically being asked to promote the Life Wallet app. That's your job. We're going to give you $800,000 to promote an app. Now, we don't have to get it twisted. Nijel Pack is not worth $800,000 to promote an app. Honestly, if you were trying to promote an app, you'd be better off hiring me than Nijel Pack, right? So he's not worth that in a car to promote an app, but it doesn't matter. John Ruiz can give him whatever he wants and tell him his job is, his responsibilities are to do this, and it's basically promote an app. So he's going to promote an app that enables healthcare providers to more easily access a person's medical history before treatment. It more or less allows you to store all of your medical and prescription information in one place instead of having to request them one by one from providers when you need them. So I'm not smart enough to know whether this is the future or not, but a guy who owns a $32 billion company thinks that it is. So I'll trust him. He seems to be doing better in life than I am. So I'll trust John Ruiz, but he has now taken this company and turned it into an undeniable recruiting tool for Miami. Nijel Pack was a top 2 transfer in the portal, arguably, probably, depending on what you think of Kendrick Davis and the amount of years of eligibility left and all that stuff. And on a surface level, you might go, okay, but why? So why is he picking Miami? How many schools need a point guard who shoots above 40% from 3? Miami doesn't project as a team that's going to be a real national title contender next season. So why is he picking Miami? And maybe it's because of the weather, and maybe it's because he loves Jim Larinaga. Both things are totally reasonable. I love Jim Larinaga and the weather in Miami, but the most obvious reason is he could make $400,000 a year and have a car for promoting an app. And what I love most about this story is that it wasn't something you had to talk to, a Kansas State assistant to find out about. Yeah, you know what's going on there, right? They just announced it. They were like, congrats to Nijel Pack. He's going to get a 2-year, $800,000 deal plus a car to promote Life Wallet. And what that suggests, if you're a Miami fan, is that he's going to be in college 2 years because he's not an incredible NBA prospect. And he already knows if he comes back for the season following this next season, that's another $400,000. So this is awesome. And I totally, I know some people roll their eyes at it. I throw my arms in the air and cheerlead it. I love it. Young people making money to play a business that is overrun with money is something that's long overdue. And I love that Miami didn't try to hide from this, that John Ruiz didn't try to hide from this, didn't try to make it about, I've always dreamed of playing in the ACC. No, bro, you're going to make $800,000. Congratulations.
Shout out to John Ruiz dropping the absolute bag. And he announced earlier this year that he's going to commit more than $10 million in funding for NIL deals. This is, I think we read the same article, but oh my gosh, mostly for Miami and also for FIU players so far. But Nijel Pack taking up a huge chunk of that salary cap, getting $800K for a 2-year deal. This was really awesome to see because, yeah, they just like dropped the news like, hey, we've come to an agreement. Nijel Pack, he's getting the bag, 2 years, $800K. We're getting him a car. Like, it really felt like kind of a sea change moment in college basketball because for years, right, it's like, oh, that guy, he probably got paid, or oh, that guy, like they probably took care of his family, or I heard, they got him a house over in Durham, like low key.
My whole career, we've been hearing stories like that.
Right.
Oh, so why did so-and-so go to this place or that place? Because that seems a little odd. Like I remember, I don't want to get too specific because nothing ever came of this, but there was a bottom tier power conference basketball program in the South that got a commitment from like a top 50 player from the Northeast. Like this dude lived in Big East country and was being recruited by every Big East school. And when he announced where he's going to school, he picked this bottom tier power conference school in the South. And he was like, I always dreamed of playing at this place. It's like, what? No, you probably didn't even know this place existed. What are you talking about? And, you ask around and it's like, well, this and this and that and whatever. And somebody got taken care of, whatever. My whole career has been those types of stories everywhere. And you go on radio shows or wherever you get asked to talk about stuff, and people would sometimes, particularly when some sort of scandal, was in the headlines, they'd ask you, what's it going to take to clean up college basketball? And I said, change the rules. Like change the rules. That's the only way to clean up. What's it going to take to cut down on marijuana convictions? Make marijuana legal. People aren't going to stop smoking weed. People like to smoke weed. So if you want to cut down on marijuana arrest and convictions, well, then you take this thing that has been illegal and you say, it's cool now. If you want it, it's cool. We're not worried with that anymore. And this is the same type of thing. Not apples to apples, obviously, but you get the point. There was always going to be a market for elite prospects in the sport of football and men's basketball at the very least. It has existed forever, since before I was born. And look at me. You know how long ago I was born?
28 years ago.
28 years ago. It's always been a thing. So that wasn't ever going to go away, especially when coaches are getting paid more money than ever. Let me ask you a question. Let's say you are rooted to a strong moral compass, right? But you're also a college basketball coach, and it's not going so well for you. You just had 4 straight losing seasons. You're on the final year of a $2 million contract, and you know that if you have one more bad season, that's probably it for you. But you also know that if you sign a top 5 recruiting class, they'll probably give you a contract extension.
Yep.
So you can get a 5-year extension. They'll give you a raise. 5-year extension, $3 million a year. So you sign the number 1 recruiting class in America, might be worth $15 million to you, and job security. What would you do? If you look in the mirror and you go, man, I never thought I'd do this, start throwing around money to get players, but everybody else is doing it. You start justifying it however you have to justify it. And I don't want to say everybody would compromise themselves, but I know a lot of coaches who have.
Look, on the one hand, you can risk a show cause penalty. On the other hand, you can get possibly $15 million. Like,
and the truth is, you probably won't get caught.
Exactly.
Some people do get caught, but you probably won't. Like if you drive 90 from on the interstate from your house to work today, you probably won't get a ticket. You might, but you probably won't. And that's a very sensible way of looking at it. So this was never not going to be a thing. Pay for play, that black market just disappearing. It was never going to happen. So what have we done with name, image, and likeness? We've turned it into a way to make these things, quote unquote, legal. Now, if you just want to be fundamentally bothered by money being a recruiting tool, then just, go on Facebook and complain about it. I don't care. But you're not going to change it. Not now. In fact, you were never going to change it. It's just all in the open now. And it's when Nijel Pack, how about this? If 5 years ago, somebody like Nijel Pack picked Miami as the most desired transfer in the portal, people would have spent this weekend going like, why Miami? What did he do that for? What do you think? Did you think something happened? Blah, blah. And now we go, why Miami? Because John Ruiz stepped up with $800,000. Congratulations, young man. Like, it just brings everything into the light. And perhaps not everything, I don't want to overstate it, but most of it is now in the light. Like, so why is so-and-so coming back to school? Because he can make a lot of money being in school legally. I'm sure some booster connected to some school is taking care of this, and everybody's getting the money that the market suggests is there for them. And oh, by the way, all of these things are really bad news for the people who screamed and screamed and screamed for years. There won't really be a market for these players. Only a handful will get some. Nijel Pack just got $800,000 guaranteed. Nijel Pack. Don't ever say again, I don't think there'll be a market for most of these guys. Nijel Pack just got $800,000. There is money to be made for lots of these guys.